Chapter 2: Clarity is Power. If Chapter 1 was about exposing the lie of busyness, this chapter is about the foundation that makes real productivity possible: clarity. Without clarity, your days fill up with activity that feels important in the moment, but leaves you wondering at night what you actually accomplished. Clarity is the compass that points your effort in the right direction, so that every hour invested pushes you closer to a meaningful outcome. The fog we live in. Most people start their day like a ship leaving harbor in heavy fog. They know they want to go somewhere better, but the next wave of emails or tasks pulls them sideways. At the end of the week, they've traveled far, but often in circles. The truth is, until you know exactly what matters most, anything can feel urgent and pull you off course. Urgent versus important. A common trap is confusing urgency with importance. Urgent things like notifications, last-minute requests, or that blinking email icon demand immediate attention. Important things like improving your health, finishing that degree, nurturing a relationship, or developing a new skill rarely shout for attention. Stephen Covey described it best: the key is not to prioritize what's on your schedule, but to schedule your priorities. The rule of 3. Here's a powerful principle: never have more than 3 main priorities at one time. Why 3? Because our minds can't hold focus on 10 things at once without watering them down. A priority, by definition, is something that must come before the rest. When everything is labeled a priority, nothing truly is. A big 3 approach forces trade-offs, which is a good thing. It asks you, what are the 3 outcomes that, if I accomplished them in the next 90 days, would change the game for me? The North Star goal. To pick your big 3, you first need a North Star goal, one clear result that gives direction to your weeks and days. Think of a North Star goal as a headline you love to read about yourself in 3 months. Launched the online store. Ran a 10K without stopping. Finally decluttered the apartment and set up a creative workspace. Your North Star doesn't have to impress anyone else. It just needs to excite you enough to guide daily effort. Exercise the big 3 list. If you can, pause here with a notebook or notes app. 1. Write down everything currently demanding your energy: projects, responsibilities, side dreams, personal goals. 2. Circle only 3 that, if completed or advanced significantly, would create the biggest progress or relief. 3. These are your true priorities for the next stretch of time. Everything else becomes either supporting tasks or can wait its turn. This exercise often feels uncomfortable because it forces you to admit you can't do everything at once. But that discomfort is a sign you're getting clear. Story: the teacher's turnaround. Maya, a high school teacher, felt constantly behind. Gradding, emails, lesson plans, volunteer committees. She tried every planner and app, but her stress never improved. One weekend, she wrote out all her responsibilities, over 30 items. She circled just 3 that would make the biggest difference: preparing engaging lessons ahead of time, improving her sleep, and setting aside 1 evening a week for family dinner. For the next 2 months, she protected those 3 above all else. To her surprise, her stress went down, her teaching quality went up, and even the smaller tasks got done faster because she wasn't drowning in indecision. Quarterly and weekly focus. A helpful rhythm is to set your big 3 priorities for 90 days, a period long enough for progress, yet short enough to feel urgent. Then, each Sunday or Monday, choose 3 focus points for the coming week that serve those quarterly goals. Finally, each morning, identify the one most important task for that day, the MIT. This cascading structure, quarterly right arrow, weekly right arrow, daily, keeps long-term vision connected to daily action. Protecting time for the important. Clarity is meaningless if you don't defend it on your calendar. Block time for priority work before filling in meetings or errands. Treat these blocks like appointments with your future self, non-negotiable. If possible, schedule high-value work in your personal peak energy hours, whether that's early morning or late evening. A clear calendar beats a long to-do list every time. Decluttering goals. Another hidden drain on focus is carrying too many half-started goals. Every unfinished idea sitting in the back of your mind consumes mental bandwidth. Decluttering isn't just for closets, it's for ambitions too. It's okay to archive or delay a dream you can't pursue right now. You can always return to it later with full attention. Mini reflection, the 90-day lens. Imagine it's 90 days from now. You look back and see 3 significant wins that make you proud and relieved. What are they? That vision becomes your filter for saying yes or no to new opportunities that pop up this week. Closing thought for Chapter 2. Clarity is power because it turns intention into direction. When you know your top priorities, you no longer measure days by how much you did, but by how far you move toward what matters. As you move into the next chapter, keep your big 3 priorities close. They'll help you decide where to spend your best hours and energy. Next, in Chapter 3, Mastering Energy and Focus, we'll discover how to align your work with your natural energy rhythms so you can do your most important tasks at your best time of day.